Shvi Shel Pesach. I once heard a story about a yeshiva bacha who came home from the yeshiva, and he was just learning about Kriyas Yamsuf. He was learning about the incredible miracle of the sea splitting. And his mother asked him, she called him his name. He said, "Tell me what you learned today in yeshiva." And he made up some kind of a crazy story. And that's what he learned about. That's what he told his mother. His mother says, "What? You learned such a crazy story in yeshiva?" He says, "Ma, if I would tell you what we really learned, you'd never believe me." He was learning about Kriyas Yamsuf, the way the Yam split. And he says, that's like an unbelievable story. So if I would have told you that, you wouldn't believe me. So, Shvi Shel Pesach really celebrates the splitting of the sea, the incredible miracle, the way Hashem saved Klal Yisrael, the way the Mitzrayim perished and were drowned. And the question is, what did Klal Yisrael do to deserve such an incredible miracle? They must have been doing something right. So Chazal tell us, it says in Tilim, in B'tzeis Yisrael Mitzrayim, it says, Hayom ro'o vayonos. The sea saw and split and ran. The sea saw and ran, which means the sea saw Klal Yisrael coming. Klal Yisrael were running from the Egyptians. The Egyptians were in hot pursuit, and in front of behind the Jewish people, and in front was the Yam. So the pasuk says, Hayom ro'o vayonos, the sea saw Klal Yisrael coming, and it ran away. Which means Klal Yisrael were carrying the remains of Yosef HaTzadik, and in the Shmuss of Yosef HaTzadik, Chazal tell us, in the Shmuss of Yosef HaTzadik's greatness and holiness, the sea split, the sea ran. B'schus v'hayazov bigdoi biyodo, because we know that the wicked, the Ashes Potiphar, the wife of Potiphar, tried to seduce Yosef to commit sin, and Vayazov bigdoi biyodo, Yosef grabbed onto she grabbed onto his garment, and he fled from her. She was holding his garment, and he fled from her. Vayazov bigdoi biyoda, he left over his garment in her hand, vayonos, and he ran. So in the schus of vayonos, of Yosef HaTzadik running from letting her commit an avera with him, b'schus that running away from her, the sea ran away from him, and the sea split and turned into dry land. That's what Klal Yisrael did. It wasn't necessarily Klal Yisrael, according to Chazal. It was the remains of, it was Yosef HaTzadik, whose remains they were carrying, and in his Shmuss, there was this incredible happening of Kriyas Yamsuf. And the question is, Gewalt, is that his greatness? That he fled from performing a miracle? Performing an Avera? Didn't he have greater schusim? Didn't Yosef HaTzadik have greater merits? All the Torah that Yaakov Avinu learned in the Beis Medrash of Shem Ve'eva, Yaakov Avinu gave over to Yosef HaTzadik. He was Molei V'Godush, he was full of Torah. He had so much Torah. Wouldn't that be enough reason for the sea to split? But perhaps we might venture to answer this question with a well-known vort from the Gro, the Vilna Gaon, Zecher Tzaddik Livrocha. The Vilna Gaon said that it's easier to learn through Shas than to break one bad midah, one bad midah. It's easier to learn through Shas than to break one midah. In other words, to try to repair our midos is harder than learning through Shas. If somebody's not a kind person, or if somebody doesn't like to do somebody a favor, he has to work on himself to overcome that bad midah that he has. And that's what life is all about. We have to break our bad midos. We have to overcome them. And ulufum tsara gagra, the reward comes according to the tsar, to the difficulty that one has in doing it. So if breaking a midah is harder than learning through Shas, that means the reward for that is so much greater. And because of that, the sea fled. He was Zeicha. He fled from her. He overcame his temptations. And he broke that taiva, that temptation that he had. And therefore, he fled, and because he fled like that, trying to keep away from an Avera, that's why the sea fled. And that's why Klal Yisrael was Zeicha. And the question is, he had, no, we're saying the answer already. The answer is that, true, he had so much Torah, but it's harder to break a midah than to learn through Shas. And according to the effort that one takes in doing something right, in breaking the midah, according to that he has great schusim. And the schus that he has is even to do the incredible, the Kriyas Yamsuf. That means, in direct application to ourselves, that means if a person is going through difficulties, and he has tremendous nisyonos and tests in life, can he stick to the Torah? Will he be drifting away from what the Torah wants him to do? According to the effort he puts in to overcoming this, he can be blessed with the greatest schusim in the world, even the schus, even the miracle of Kriyas Yamsuf. So this is something we have to try to work on, to break our midos, and it could bring for us the greatest Yeshuas and the greatest good that's possible can come about through overcoming bad midos. If a person doesn't want to give tzedakah, if a person doesn't want to daven with a minyan, etc., etc., all the things that we know that we should be doing, and we can't get ourselves to do it. If we work on ourselves and overcome our midas, it could bring about and give us a brand new life. We should be zeicha to understand this. Amen v'amen.